You're running on 5 hours of sleep. By mid-afternoon, the fatigue sets in, accompanied by an overwhelming, almost magnetic pull toward the nearest sugary, high-calorie snack you can find. We usually treat that craving as a failure of discipline, telling ourselves we need stronger willpower. What is actually happening is a biological takeover of your body's internal signaling systems. Dr. Marie-Pierre Saint-Onge runs a unique laboratory at Columbia University's Institute of Human Nutrition. While most researchers study sleep or diet in isolation, her lab monitors the continuous two-way street between how we sleep and exactly what we eat. To understand why weight gain and chronic fatigue are often so resistant to change, we have to look at the research that frames sleep and nutrition as a single, continuous biological loop. Missing a full 8 hours doesn't require pulling an all-nighter. Shaving off a mere 90 minutes of your normal sleep cycle starts altering your metabolic baseline. Look at the data from the landmark Nurses' Health Study, which tracked healthcare workers over 14 years. Nurses reporting 5 or 6 hours of sleep a night experienced significantly higher rates of weight gain compared to those getting 7 or 8 hours. To figure out how that weight gain happens, researchers tested the energy balance equation in the lab. If poor sleep leads to a higher body mass, the body must be actively prompted to consume more fuel than it burns. When put under observation, participants operating on restricted sleep subconsciously ate an average of 300 extra calories every single day compared to when they were fully rested. Compounded over weeks or months, that 300-calorie daily surplus leads to measurable weight gain, as much as half a kilo in just a 2-week span. Blood work and neuroimaging from these sleep-deprived subjects revealed exactly how that caloric surplus happens, uncovering a massive biological split between men and women. This chart shows how sleep loss affects hormones. For men, we see a sharp spike in ghrelin as sleep duration decreases. Ghrelin is an appetite-regulating hormone. When it spikes, it acts as an active alarm system signaling the brain to seek out food immediately. Shifting to the female response, the mechanism changes. Instead of a spike in hunger signals, women see a drastic plunge in GLP-1. This naturally produced peptide acts as a satiety signal. When levels drop, the brain never receives the signal to stop eating. While this is happening in the gut, the brain's reward centers simultaneously upregulate. Highly processed foods suddenly look and taste vastly more rewarding than they would if you were fully rested. Sleep deprivation acts as a chemical driver against your own body. It alters your hormonal ability to regulate appetite, resulting in consistent, poor dietary choices. The second half of the loop is just as impactful. The high-fat, refined carbohydrate cravings you satisfy during the day directly sabotage your upcoming night's sleep. Sleep is not a uniform block of unconsciousness. It has a specific internal structure known as sleep architecture, and the specific macronutrients you eat act as switches that control that structure. Consuming a high volume of saturated fat flips one of the most critical switches in the wrong direction, causing a measurable reduction in restorative, deep, slow-wave sleep. Then come the refined carbohydrates and simple sugars. Eating these throughout the day triggers relentless microarousals throughout the night. A microarousal doesn't mean you physically wake up and stare at the ceiling. It means your brain is being yanked out of its deep REM stages and forced into a lighter, less restorative state. Consuming a poor diet guarantees fragmented sleep architecture. You wake up physically exhausted, your hormones demand more sugar, and your body locks into a continuous cycle of fatigue and weight gain. Because the cycle is bidirectional, it can be influenced from either side. Changing the way you eat can directly repair the way you sleep. It starts with chrononutrition, the strategic timing of your meals. The rule here is to shift the majority of your daily calorie intake into the first 2/3 of your waking day. This daytime shift has a direct metabolic benefit. By consuming those calories earlier, your body increases its baseline fat oxidation rates compared to eating those same foods late at night. The final meal of the day is the most critical time for intervention. To actively support your sleep architecture, you need to structure your evening plate around high amounts of dietary fiber. Digestion of high-fiber foods is associated with increased amounts of deep, slow-wave sleep. Fiber acts as an anchor for the brain in its most restorative phases. When you wake up from that fiber-induced deep sleep, your body enters a different chemical state. Your ghrelin and GLP-1 levels are balanced, which naturally reduces the drive to overeat throughout the following day. Aligning meal timing with fiber intake provides a stable foundation for sleep architecture and hormonal balance. When these systems work in sync, the physiological cues that drive overeating simply no longer exist.